Hey guys, it's been a little bit since I made a video. I've just been overwhelmed with work. It's been all day long yesterday down in Grenada. Most of the day was working on a 633C paddle scraper, cat paddle scraper. Just doing a bunch of different work to it. I got a TW25 here. I split a couple years ago. I've had this tractor split so many times. We put a new throw-out bearing and clutch in it when we had it apart last time, and this damn throw-out bearing is already gone bad. It's a new throw-out bearing, so I'm not sure why we got a faulty bearing or something going on. But anyways, this video here, this is a 6170R, and first problem we've got with this one is pretty certain the part pause broke off. It rolls down the hill even when the engine shut off, because it's a spring-loaded park brake, so it takes hydraulic pressure to release the park brake. It's spring-loaded. Okay, so let's see what we got. I gotta warm the oil up. I got a flow restrictor on there. I guess I should show you some test ports. So this is an IVT, that stands for Infinite Variable Transmission. You're going to have a system pressure port, and then you're going to be checking the code we're getting is a 1387.01 lube oil pressure low. This is your system pressure port. This is your lube oil port. And the only way I've ever been able to get on the lube oil port is pull the front drive line out. So, in essence, the lube oil port, when you get low lube oil, that's usually an element that's leaking somewhere. Could be seal rings on a shaft, could be clutch pack, could be any kind of element like PTO, mechanical front wheel drive, the KV. I'm trying to remember the packs that are all involved here. Hang on a second. So what we're going to do here, get my laptop laid down here where I can read it. Now, I'm not going to show you. I am not going to show you any thing on this book, because I don't need John Deere trying to hang me. And I know I always get these people asking me for all this, where do you get your books? And all I'm going to tell you is get on the internet and Google it, and you're going to have to get your checkbook out, or you have to get a PayPal account, and you're going to have to buy them. They're not going to give them to you. Alright, so first thing I want to look at, see if I can get both these gauges up in here. System pressure is awesome. Alright, we want to bump it. Let's go. We're going to put it in technician mode, and I'm going to go ahead. They tell you in this procedure, checking these elements, they tell you that you need to have it mechanical front wheel drive engaged. Basically, you're taking the oil pressure it takes oil pressure to put it in two-wheel drive. It's another spring-loaded pack, so they don't want you throwing that off, your measurements off. So go down here. You want to go to the information center. You want to go down here to the diagnostic addresses. Once the hourglass goes out, hold the check button for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that didn't work. Hold it again longer. 1, 2. There it goes. And then the T will pop up right there for technician mode. And then come down here to the PTA controller. Then we want to go, we'll see what temperature our oil is. PTA address 41 is going to be your oil temperature. No, not 41. What am I thinking? 21. And it's 44. So 22 is going to be your actual lube oil pressure in kilopascals. So then we want to go down here to address 49. That's where you're going to put your inputs in for your elements. So I'm going to be periodically looking back at the book, which I'm not going to show you, and because I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head. And there's two conditions. You can do it at 1,000 RPM, so we got to go through them all at 1,000 RPM, and all of them at 1,800. So it says right in the book here, maximum drop in pressure permitted between activated and deactivated components, 6 psi. Lube pressure must not drop below 50 kilopascals, 7 psi, regardless of whether the component is activated or deactivated. Okay. So let's go to the first one, is the KV clutch pack. And that's, let's bump it up to 1,000 RPM. Now we're going to go over here and press the, we're going to go to the input address is going to be 39. And then you're going to go over here to accept. I need to get my gauge, my lube oil pressure gauge, kind of ready so I can look at it. So I'm right at 30. Is there a dome light in this cab where I can see a little better, maybe? Hey, the camera shut itself off because it said it was too hot. So here, let's go ahead and activate all our packs again. I wish I could get that gauge somewhere where I could read it. I want to be at 1,000 RPM. So right now we're at, the oil keeps getting hotter and hotter. I'm at 22, 24 psi. I've got a 10 psi drop since I've warmed the oil up. Let's go back and look and see what our actual oil temperature is up on address 21. It's at 57. The spec is supposed to be 40 to 60, I think. That's going to be Celsius. Go back to 49. Let's engage a clutch pack. So let's go to put 39 and 49 in there. 39. I didn't notice any change. Put 49 in there. No change there. Let's go put number 1 in there. So in the input is 001. Let's go to number 2. Let's go to number 3. The address number 4. I went too far. Do number 3. And then do 19 and 29. Pressure actually came up a little bit on night 29. Let's go back to 19. There's something really goofy going on with this thing. Things aren't really making much sense, I'll tell you that. What the fuck is going on with this? This thing's making all kinds of weird noises now, I know that. With the oil warmed up, I can feel something rough in the floorboard. Something's going on. Something's wrong. The next thing I'm going to probably do is try to calibrate the transmission and see if it'll calibrate. Got a caution light flashing here. What's going on with that? Lube pressure just at idle is just barely above 10 psi. Operator controls. I didn't have the son of a bitch in park when I started it. Now sitting here at an idle, it goes clear down to 0 and stays there idling. And I bet you that's when the code comes on. Let's just see if the code will pop up. Let's go to address let's go to address 22. That's our lube oil pressure address. I mean, I barely got 2 psi maybe. Come on, you son of a bitch. Why is it not doing it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Won't go into technician mode all of a sudden. I'm having a heck of a time with this thing, guys, today. It's not acting right, I'll tell you that. Okay, we're back into technician mode. Sometimes you just got to restart them. They won't go back in there for some reason. So we're gonna go down to address number 20. See, 21's our oil temperature. 22 is our actual pressure. That's in kilopascals. So let's go ahead and I got it in forward with my foot on the brake pedal. I mean, my needle's barely doing anything there. I give her about 1,000 RPM, it brings my lube oil up to 10, 12, 14, 16 PSI, but if I back it off just to an idle, it's supposed to never fall below, well, that's at 1,000 RPM though, the book says. Huh. So PTO on, PTO off. It's about a 2 PSI drop, which that's fine. Okay, so then full drive. Here's in 2-wheel drive. I got a 2 PSI drop. Okay, diff lock. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Holy shit. I would say there's something wrong with the diff lock. She's dumped the lube pressure clear off the chart. So the diff lock, so let's turn the diff lock off. Turn it back on. Another thing you can do is watch your system pressure with the diff lock on, with the diff lock off. See if it, there's the, watch the system pressure. That's a pretty substantial change in system pressure. That's at 280. It's a 40 PSI drop in system pressure. It's going straight through the diff lock. So we got a problem in park lock and the diff lock. Look at the diff lock, drops her to nothing. Absolute zero. And clear down here at 55 PSI or kilopascals, 50. Back up to 200 as soon as I turn it off. Okay. So, diff lock and the park lock have problems. It's probably all going to be associated with slamming it in park. They broke something in there. Let's go and do our clutch packs one more time. Just due diligence. I mean, it's a lot of work to be wrong, because I don't want to go clear through this and find there was another clutch pack that was having problems and I didn't catch it. So we're going to start at the top. We're going to go 19. Actually, wakey computer. I got a 7210R. I got to go look at the air conditioner on, then come back to the shop. So I want to start out with 19 and 29. 19. What am I doing? I'm thinking push button. What's my gauge at? $29 for the other proportional solenoid. Nothing wrong with the hydrostatic unit. Okay. Now we're going to start out 1. Nothing wrong there. 2 PSI. That's normal. Nothing wrong there. I'm gonna go back to 0 and see if okay, we'll go to number 3. Nothing wrong there. So, number and then we got 29 and 39. Go to 39. Okay, nothing wrong with the packs in it. The problem is definitely diff lock is the biggest problem. Wow, just drops to nothing, absolute nothing. That's blowing straight through, and then the park lock. So anyway, well guys, I've got this diagnosed. We've got a park lock and diff lock problem, and I've got a feeling we're going to be finding it's all associated with slamming it in park while it's moving. Which I thought these things were set up like the 8000 series to where they wouldn't go into park if they saw wheel speed movement on the wheel speed sensor is what I thought. But anyway, I gotta go look at the 7210R. I'll probably make another video on this when I start tearing into it.